Hey everybody, welcome back to 2 Acres Evolving. I hope all of you out there that celebrate Thanksgiving had an awesome holiday. It's now the weekend after Thanksgiving, so I'm gonna start decorating my house for Christmas. I don't plan on going completely crazy with lights this year, but there are a few different areas that I'm gonna be working in my yard. So let me go ahead and show you what I plan on doing. So as you can see, I have some of the lights strung out on the ground. I tested them out yesterday to make sure everything's working, and I had to do some work on some of them that weren't working. And then I have some new ones as well. And I have more over here. I plan on putting lights, and the sun is behind my house right now, so it may get a little bright. I plan on putting lights on top of my house, and then around the garage door, and then I'll probably do something around this flower bed. I haven't decided yet. And then I'm gonna be putting lights around this circle flower bed and putting the inflatable in the middle of this bed. And then out in the middle of the yard, I have a specific project planned, which I don't quite know how it's gonna go. I've never done this specific thing before. So we'll see how that turns out. So I'm just gonna go ahead and set the camera up and get up on the roof and start setting up these lights. All right, so I've run into a couple of issues. The wind has gone absolutely crazy today, and luckily I got a new camera with a windscreen on it, so I'll be able to test that out, so that's good at least. However, the wind blew my tripod over when I was filming, so now I'm having to hold the camera by hand, and it's making it a lot more difficult to film this project. I have most of the lights up, and then I have, which I need to straighten out the pole, but I have this tree done, which you can't hardly see the lights. Let me get closer. So I did a Christmas tree out of lights, and this was a job, let me tell you. I almost gave up on it, but I finally figured it out and got it up. I still got a little bit of tweaking to do. You can see that the pole is not straight on it. But with my tripod being broken now, I'm gonna have to go get a new one, but I don't have time to go get it before I post this video. So I think I'm just gonna put things up, and then I'm gonna show you what all I have put up once it gets dark. And I'll try to film as much as I possibly can. So this part was pretty easy. I already had nails up there from last year, so I just strung them up around those existing nails. And then this extra piece down here, I'll just tuck up underneath the garage door. So that's not that big of a deal. All right, so I got the house all decorated, and I decided to go pretty simple this year. I didn't want to go too crazy with the lights, and I really like how it turned out. This is the first year I've ever done a Christmas tree out of lights like this, and it was a little tough getting it just right, but it ended up turning out pretty good. I'm really happy with how it looks. How I did it was I had an old flagpole in my garage, so I came out and anchored it into the ground, and it's about 15 foot tall, and then I came out on each one. I measured out about 10 feet from the pole to create the circle around it, and each strand is about 10.5 feet apart from each other. So I just measured everything and measured how big the circle would be, and then divided by 6 because that's how many strands I had for it, so that they would all be even. The circle bed, this is the first time I've ever done this one as well, because I just built this bed this past spring. And I think it turned out well with the inflatable in the middle of it. And at night you can hardly even see the hydrangeas that are in there. And then I lined the driveway with some lights. And then up near the house, I didn't really know what to do in the kidney-shaped flower bed. So I had these candy cane lights, so I just stuck those in along the edge, and I think they turned out good. And I had some net lights and some white lights, so I just put those on the shrubs up next to the house. The lights that I used for the top, and actually now that I'm looking, I checked these earlier today and everything was fine, but I have a couple of bulbs out, it looks like. But that's no big deal. I can just grab the ladder and fix those real quick. I used C9 lights for the top. I didn't decorate the house last year, but the year before I used LED lights for the top, and they weren't bright enough. I didn't really like how they looked for the top of the house. So I decided to go with the old-fashioned C9 lights for this year, and I like how they look better than the LED lights for the top. And then the lights that I have around the garage door, I have had these lights, I've had this strand of lights for probably, I would say, at least 15 years. I've used these back when I lived with my parents and I would decorate their house for Christmas. So these are pretty old and they're still doing great. So nothing too crazy on the lights, but I kind of like how simple it looks. And I like how it turned out. So I don't know how well you're gonna be able to see me because it's dark out, but I'm gonna try this anyway. I plan on doing a lot more lights next year, and the lot next door, hopefully I have the gazebo built in that area next year, and you will be able to see the gazebo from the road. So I plan on decorating that gazebo and that specific area up with lights, as well as the rest of my property. So I plan on stocking up on lights for the next year, so that way next year I'll have plenty and I can just go crazy with the lights next year. But anyway, thank you all so much for watching this video, and we'll see you in the next one.